In the previous video, we learned how to use grep command to search for pattern inside a file. In this video, we're going to learn how to use find command to search the file system. I'm going to start from the same directory, data_shell/writing. Just to remind you, we have a number of subdirectories here and a file haiku.txt. So let's say we are searching for a file with a given name. For example, we're searching for a file named haiku.txt in the current directory and all of its subdirectories. The syntax here is find dot means the current directory. So we're starting the search from the current directory and digging into all of its subdirectories for a file named haiku.txt. And there is just a single match. If we want to search for a pattern, let's say we want to search for all .txt files, then we actually have to use the quotes. Search for all .txt files, and these will return 3 matches. There is haiku.txt in the current directory, and then inside the data directory, there are a couple of files, 1.txt and 2.txt. So here you actually have to be careful, because if you forget to specify the quotes and run a very similar command, the result is going to be very different. And the reason for this is really simple, but it's somewhat obscure. So what's happening in the last command, when you type *.txt, this is a wild mask. So this is a pattern, and bash, before it runs this entire command, it will actually expand this pattern into all possible matches. So there is just a single file in the current directory called haiku.txt. And this command is exactly the same as this command. So this command with a pattern will be expanded into this command, and then it will run. And of course, there is just a single match. So that's why you actually have to use quotes when you search for a pattern. You can also search for file types, for directories, for files older than a certain date or files smaller than a certain number, etc., etc. So let me show you a few other examples. Let's search the current directory and all of its subdirectories for files, for objects of type file. We have a number of matches. Let's just count them by piping our previous command into wc-l, and we have 8 matches. Let's search for directories inside of the current directory and of all of its subdirectories, and these are the matches we have. So -type D means a directory. You can also limit your search by specifying the maximum depth of the file system hierarchy that you want to follow. Let's say you want to go only one directory down. I'm going to say minus maximum depth 1, and then -type D, searching for directories. And here you see that you are only searching for directories in the current directory, but you're not digging any deeper than that. So for example, this one doesn't appear in the last search. Whereas if you increase the depth of your search, you can actually go one layer down. And the same for files. If you want to search for files only in the current directory, you will see max depth 1. If you want to search only for files in the current directory and all of its subdirectories, but not going into the deeper subdirectories, then you will see max depth 2, and so on. If you bring up the help on the manual page, you will see that there are lots and lots of flags. You can search for files bigger than a given size, for files older some date, etc., etc., files that were modified after a certain date. So find is really a very powerful command.